Ah, the cheetah, nature's scarlet speedster. You start your day dreaming in terror of the lion who bullies you on a regular basis, alongside the leopard who collects tax from you on the daily. You are the absolute pinnacle of nature's engineering when it comes to raw speed, agility, and actually, that's it. You kinda suck at everything else. Sorry. You live in the grasslands in the sub Saharan region of Africa. Although you were once widespread throughout Africa and Asia, the majority of your population resides in national parks and natural reserves. As I said, you suck. Sorry. Our day begins at 6 a.m. While lions are nocturnal party animals who spend the night screaming at the moon and the day working at Target, you are a diurnal hunter. That's a fancy science word for you have a terrible sleep schedule and needs to hunt in the day. You wake up at 6 a.m. because you want to get a head start on all the gangs and the thieves that you'll surely come across in your hunt. You stretch your long, lanky legs and arms and immediately face your first existential crisis of the day. You have absolutely zero defense stats. That includes no heavy armor. Your jaw strength is laughably weak compared to other big cats. Your limbs are built for speed and not power. And your claws, well, let's not talk about your claws. They don't even retract. Which means they are constantly dulling over time because of the prolonged use. They are great for traction while running at insane speeds over 60 miles an hour. Completely useless for scratching something in self defense. Sorry. If you were to go up against a hyena or a hyena pack, for example, they'd probably laugh at you. Sorry. You scan the horizon to make sure your foes aren't around to steal your thunder, making sure you use those high definition goggles you call eyes, which have evolved to absorb enormous amounts of sunlight and spot any tiny movements in your vision across miles of flat terrain. You traverse a hillside to get a better vantage point for potential prey like gazelle, which, if successfully killed, can feed you for up to 3 or 4 days. But in reality, you'll probably hunt again in a day or two, since trying to eat after taking down prey at 60 miles an hour seriously hinders your ability to fully gorge the meat, which can spoil in the blistering 100-degree heat of the savannah, as well as having to defend your kill against larger, more aggressive animals. You get back up after that epic fall. You feel hungry as you haven't eaten in days and decide to climb to another vantage point where you spot a herd of gazelle. After seeing that you're in range of a chase, you channel your inner cursed energy to release your malevolent speed and rocket toward the gazelle at 70 miles per hour, speeds that would make even Usain Bolt feel slow. Of course, you are an absolute failure. You misjudge the distance between yourself and the gazelle while also underestimating how alert they were. They see you coming. A chase envelops between you and the gazelle you locked onto, as both of you clash with immeasurable speed across the savannah. Gazelles are no slouch though, as they are immensely agile and can actually match your speed for a short time, as they've been clocked regularly sprinting at 50 miles per hour. On paper, you are faster, but you can only hold that speed for a short time before you have to stop, unless you want to cook your insides from the heat generated from outspeeding the average car on a highway. After the battle between the fastest gazelle in history versus the fastest cheetah of today, you absolutely missed. You're a massive failure. Like we spoke about earlier, you have to cool down whether or not you get a successful kill. It's not looking good for you. You're still hungry, and you now have to spend minutes on end cooling down in an already baking savannah. But let's say you didn't miss and you show that gazelle who's boss. You're cooling down after successfully suffocating the life out of the gazelle with your signature technique, clamping down on the prey's neck, specifically its trachea or windpipe, which cuts off oxygen to the lungs and compresses the arteries, stopping blood flow to the brain and killing the prey. Oh, oh no. Because you're now in an extremely vulnerable state, where you can't move around as much from your insides literally cooking, a pack of spotted hyenas are approaching and are now eyeing your hard earned kill. There's actually a term for this, where an animal steals food from another animal in the natural world. It's called klep, klep, kleptopover. This word. They've stolen your kill. It doesn't really get much better for the females as they have to tend to their cubs. As a female, you'll spend a lot of your time caring for your cubs and energy spent trying to hide them from other predators like lions, leopards, wild dogs, and even male cheetahs. But that last one is extremely rare, as male cheetahs are wanderers more than they are baby murderers. Your cubs absolutely hate the 1980s mohawk you've given them. They get no play. Look at this guy. He gets no bait. The mohawks do serve a purpose though, as from a distance, the silver lining hair can make the cubs resemble a honey badger, the biggest a-hole of the savannah. Predators see the gray stripe and assume it's the miniature demon itself that eats cobras for breakfast and decide it's not worth the trouble. Eventually, the stress of the wild gets to you, and you have to be checked into a mental institution to deal with the sanity of lions, leopards, wild dogs, heat strokes, and having your lunch stolen every afternoon. This causes severe social anxiety. You're a massive failure. No worries, Rudy here will keep you sane and safe as he's your support animal, specifically your emotional support animal. He's basically your therapist, keeping you calm and signaling that it's okay to relax, or probably thinking to himself that you're simply not built for this and that you don't got that dog in you. You're a massive failure. Sorry,